I'll stick to making Easy Mac and PB&J. Thanks. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today, our movie in the middle is The Menu. The Menu is a tense thriller comedy, yeah, you heard that right, about a psychotic chef preparing his final and greatest last meal for an exclusive group of wealthy business owners and critics. It stars Ralph Fiennes, Anya Taylor-Joy, Nicholas Hoult, Hong Chow, and John Leguizamo. Hope you all had a really great Thanksgiving, everybody, and I hope all of your dishes were a lot less stressful than the ones in this movie. This is another very original concept movie that I was excited for this year that I didn't actually know was coming out till like a month before. But I was really excited for it because we've had a couple of those this year, like Nope and Don't Worry, Darling. But unlike those, which didn't exactly stick the landing for me by the third act, I had a feeling that this one would. And after having some time to digest the movie, I can say that it did leave a good taste in my mouth. Okay, that last one was my brother's, so you can boo him. Okay, let's talk about this movie. Starting off with the highs, Ralph Fiennes. This has got to be one of the most interesting roles I have seen in a while. Is it my favorite Ralph Fiennes role? I don't know. He's got a lot of great ones. But it's definitely up there. It may possibly be my favorite. But let me tell you what, Gordon Ramsay's got nothing on this guy. He is psychotic, but what I like about him is that he's psychotic in a three-dimensional way. And what I mean by that is he's not like born psychotic, like, like the Joker. He's just one-dimensionally psychotic. He's interesting, but that's all we really know about him. He's not that relatable. This guy, he has two qualities that I think make him a lot more interesting. The first one is that he is very honest and forthcoming about what's going to happen through the course of the night. Or should I say, all the courses of the night. Boo! But what I like about that is that it doesn't feel like he's hiding anything. Obviously he still has some surprises about how it's going to happen, but he is very honest about, like, this is all going to happen. Get ready. So it makes it feel like not only is he not just hiding things just to hide them, but the writing of the movie isn't either. It's not like that, we have to find a way to, like, not spoil it for the audience. It's just like, yeah, this is going to happen. Get ready. The other thing I really liked about his character is that while he does do insanely terrible things, he also, like, has human emotion for a lot of the time, and you can see it. Like, whenever he's actually feeling something or reacting to something in a very genuine way, you can see it change on his face. And you almost kind of feel bad for him. Like, there are times where it's like, even after all the stuff that he's done, he reacts a certain way, and I'm like, oh, chef. Which, like I said, makes him more complex, more interesting, more like a real person. It's not like, again, like he was born into just being a psycho or doing all of these things, but you can see in his backstory how he developed into this person, and it honestly plays a key role in the plot as well. Obviously, Anya Taylor-Joy was amazing as well. She kind of is just like the audience for this movie, just like the what the hell is going on, and she really is the only one, because the rest of them, up to a certain point at least, are just already in the know about everything. So even before all the weird stuff starts to happen, she's like, who the hell are these people? Because they are weird, including Nicholas Hoult, who I think did a pretty good job as like how do I put it? The lapdog for Chef. Like, he is that guy who's like, ooh, do you think I pissed him off? Do you think I should go apologize? It's like, dude, he doesn't even know who you are. And he was really good in that role. Like, I've never seen him do anything like that. But Anya Taylor-Joy did an amazing job. Because of that being her role, being like the audience, she doesn't do anything super insane, but she does develop how to get out of this situation over the course of the movie, and she's very smart, and she does something at the end that just made for a really great scene between her and Chef. And it was very interesting how she was able to try to figure out ways to get around what he's doing and get under his skin. And of course, she was cool as hell. The cinematography, I would say, was pretty minimal, but it was definitely very well done. And I think a lot of it actually comes in with the editing as well, because one of the things that they do is every time that they serve a new course, they cut to kind of like, those generic calendar backgrounds with the recipe over top. And I'll get into this in a minute, but they have some funny jokes in there as well. But it's cool that they do that because it makes it feel, again, like this whole conceptual experience which is basically what this whole thing is about. Like everybody's like, there's supposed to be some big concept that, until the end of the meal, the end of the menu, we're not going to know what it is. And so it was cool that they made it this whole thing by cutting back and forth to those. And honestly, just the fact that it takes place mostly in one room, kind of like Ma Rainey's Black Bottom or 12 Angry Men, it feels like you're a little claustrophobic, but I think they did a really great job in terms of not making it just like the standard 5 shots and making it really boring. They made it very interesting for all taking place in the same room for most of the movie. The movie also covers a wide variety of themes, and very smoothly, I might add. I mean, the plot simultaneously covers the topics of privilege of immense wealth and influence, the separation between economic classes, being authentic in your passion and your art versus just doing it for the money or fame, the extremes of passion, perfectionism, and what not having a work life balance and some separation can do for you and do to you. This movie's about food, right? But again, it doesn't even feel jumbled. They like just have all of these really deep themes and topics of discussion within this plot, and it just feels so well done, so straightforward. Not necessarily straightforward, but just it doesn't feel complex or like these issues are butting heads, It's like it all serves this one main plot, and you get a lot out of it. It also is kind of a critique on, ironically enough, critics. No matter what it's in. This one, it's for food, but it could be for food, art, movies, whatever it might be. It just kind of showing how stupid they can be, how fake they can seem, and let's be honest, very dumb sometimes. I know I'm one of the dumb ones. So, like I said, tonally, this is a very interesting movie because it is thrilling and suspenseful, but it's also really funny. The thrills and shocks are nuts because it escalates very quickly. It starts out with one thing and you're like, this is getting a little weird, and then suddenly you're like, okay, it's that kind of movie. But it's interesting in the way of each course, you're like, what's the catch gonna be this time? And not only that, but how's it gonna happen and maybe to who? Yet at the same time, and sometimes because of these things, it is one of the funniest movies I have seen in a while, and it's mostly because of just situational comedy. And it's black comedy, honestly. It's really dark humor because a lot of this is like these terrible things are going on, but the way people react to it and the way that they talk about certain things happening, and even Chef himself, it is really funny. It's supposed to be, obviously, but in the moment, it's just like this is in the trailer, so it's not necessarily spoiler, but with all these things going on, they bring out a birthday cake for one of the people there, and the guy's like, "You told him it was my birthday," and the other one's like, "It was funnier 3 hours ago." Like, it's really funny. I honestly really only have one middle, and that's that some of the motivations that Chef has for doing some things to certain people, some of them in the moment felt a little weak or not as personal, so I was wondering why he's doing it at all. But then, like thinking back on it and thinking back on the themes specifically, it does make a little bit more sense, and I think it goes along with those overall concepts of wealth, like I was talking about before. So overall, the menu is one of the most interesting and most well done movies I've seen this year. It will probably easily make my top 10. And I was surprised just because, like I said, after some of these other ones where they were vague enough that I didn't want to know what was going on. And then when I finally saw them, like Nope or Don't Worry, Darling, I thought, okay, they're okay, but they didn't stick it as much as I wanted them to. And this one very much did. It was funny, it was shocking, it was original. It makes you think about a lot of deep things. The end of the menu, the end of the night, they were talking about this conceptual ending and like what it all means, and I think that they very much just in writing the movie did that. By the end of it, you're like, okay, I think I get what this was all about. And if I can talk about this maybe at the end of the year when I do my live stream, when more people have seen it, I might go into some more just little details, spoiler wise, about what I think those things were. But it was hilarious, it was shocking all throughout. It was just very, very tastefully done. I'm going to give the menu a 4 out of 4, making it my next top shelf movie. Well, guys, let me know what you thought of the menu if you have seen it. If you haven't and you are in for something that's a little bit gory, it's not like scary, but it's a little bit more suspenseful and intense, I would definitely recommend this one. Just not before Thanksgiving, if you see it sometime next year, or literally any meal. And as always, keep your hopes high, your stress low, and movies right in the middle. I'll see you guys later.